Well, I hope we didn't lose him. Let's see.
No, I'm right here.
Oh, great.
Oh, you're there. Okay, good. All right. So, have you had a sufficient opportunity to go over the report with Mr. Morales now, Mr. Rasby?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. We had a chance to go over the report. The only thing that he was questioning is the last conviction on his record out in Otsego. He does not recall that, but I don't think that would have an impact on his sentencing here today. Other than that, everything is accurate.
Okay, he doesn't remember the being charged even.
Yeah, he doesn't recall getting in trouble in Otsego County.
Okay, well, I can tell you that wouldn't really have any impact on my sentence in this case. I'd operate without security in 2018. I'm not going to strike it unless there's some kind of proof.
Sure, Your Honor. I understand.
Because this would have come from a lien sheet. And but I would be willing to take it off a report at a later date if I got some sort of proof that didn't happen. So, okay. So, any other changes to the report?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So, what would you like to say then on behalf of Mr. Morales?
Well, I would let you know that when you look at Mr. Morales' previous record and you interact with them today, the two don't seem to line up. And while I have limited interaction with him, he's always been very, very polite, very appreciative, very cooperative, asks appropriate questions. He seems to be trying, and he's been candid with me that getting out of prison after 14 years, it hasn't been easy. He's had a hard time adjusting to life on the outside, but he's really starting to make some strides. I think while this was a big mistake in judgment, a foolish move, I think it was an eye-opener for him as far as how far he can slip and get back into trouble versus where he's going. He has a really good plan in place right now. He's enrolled in a program out in Cadillac where he can get a certificate to be a commercial truck driver. That's obviously a very important job, not just important, but a job that's in need. So he has an opportunity now to start to really turn his life around with his schooling and his eventual employment to make a good life for himself. And that's his goal. So he is reaching out for help as far as getting on his feet and coming up with a plan and trying to keep on the straight and narrow here. But he's also working toward the future as far as a career. So I do think Mr. Morales has plenty of potential. And I do think that this was an eye opener. And I think that the recommendations, for the fines and costs for what occurred here are appropriate. And I would ask that the court follow those recommendations. I would also add that he did serve some jail time on this offense already. So I believe that he's been given credit for 3 days.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rasby. Mr. Morales, anything you'd like to tell me before I sentence you?
I have deep remorse for my actions, and I think I have ample time to correct my behavior and also turn my life around with enrolling into the Pinnacle Truck Driving School to where I can put my life on the road. And my wife, I'm taking care of her upon her approval for her disability, but while she's on her disability, I figured that I could get a job like this, truck driving, and I could take her with me while I save up for a future to be put a down payment on a house and make a future for myself and my wife and move on and put this past behind me. And I have a an employer who was willing to hire me, but I was waiting for the outcome of this court case, so it doesn't interfere with that. I do have steps to further my livelihood, and I've come from being homeless in Traverse City to having a home to slowly making baby steps to make a career for myself.
Where are you living now?
I am living at 1118 Titus Avenue.
Okay. And are you living with someone, or you're paying rent there, or what?
I'm paying rent here. Me and my wife are living here.
Ah, okay. Anything else?
No, that is all, Your Honor. I understand that I want to change my life around instead of being a nuisance to the common public of society, and want to move forward and make life-changing events and being a success story to individuals that are released, that come from a background like I have, and positively give people hope. That's all, Your Honor.
All right. Well, this is sentencing on defendant's conviction of retail fraud, third degree, and the offense itself is pretty minor. The defendant and a friend, who I believe were homeless at the time, wanted to cook some food, so they stole bundles of wood, 3 of them, from the 7-Eleven store.
Correct.
The concerning thing is that the defendant has 2 felony robbery convictions. Now, the first of those, if it was just the first, in 1998, you were 18 years old, you committed an armed robbery in Emmett County. You did 14 years in prison and 2 years on parole. And so that 16 years on supervision takes us, what is that? 98, 16, 2014. And while on parole, okay, excuse me, Mr. Morales.
I'm sorry about
You've had an opportunity to speak, and now I'm making my ruling, okay?
Okay, thanks.
So, all right, thank you. So that takes us into 2014. That means this unarmed robbery that occurred in 2013, when you're a lot older and wiser and you've been through the prison system. Seems like you would have learned from that experience, but that's when you're 32 and you're committing an unarmed robbery, habitual offender second. You did a year in jail and 3 years of probation on that. And then there's, what else have we got? A felony perjury, that was in 98, and drunk driving and failed to report accident and a driving suspended. So, what I always think about is, I think about you, but I also think about how would I explain this to the 7-Eleven store that I got someone who's committed robberies twice, gone to prison, gone to jail, and then just lifts a bunch of wood. And you said that it was to cook some food, and that's probably true. And so what's an appropriate sentence under those circumstances? Is it the 3 days in jail?
Your Honor.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Asby.
Just to refresh on this case, this is a case where we had a plea offer that there would be no objection to fines and costs if the court felt that to be appropriate. We originally went to enter that plea. We did not go forward. A status conference was set. This was, again, the plea offer. And then we placed it on the record that Mr. Morales he would have the opportunity to withdraw his plea if after the court reviewed the information and decided to go with a different sentence, just so that the court is refreshed on the facts here. But the prosecutor's office did indicate that.
All right, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place the defendant on probation for a year. He would have a review at 6 months. The condition of the probation would be that he not steal anything. Does Mr. Morales wish to withdraw his plea?
No, I don't. Not at all.
Okay, so, you know, this is the thing, Mr. Morales, you're 40 years old. You're young enough, from my perspective, because I'm quite a bit older than you, to turn things around here and get this behind you. But then you commit an offense like this, and, you know, it's not too far from, you know, stealing a bunch of wood to, you know, another unarmed robbery or something like that. So, you know, you gotta be, you gotta stop the criminal thinking, okay? So anyhow, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna place the defendant on probation. The only condition, again, even though I know there are I believe some alcohol problems here as well, is that the defendant is not to commit any violations of the criminal law. This will be a non-reporting probation, again, for 1 year. At the 6 month mark, I might consider terminating that, but you can bet on a bunch of jail time if you commit another offense, Mr. Morales. And so hopefully this is an incentive to stay out of trouble, keep your housing, work on getting that certification so you can become a productive employee. And the fines and costs are going to be the 75 and 100. Crime Victims Fund is 75. Judicial system fee is 50. Court appointed attorney is 250. The restitution is 1797 to the 711. Let's see. So that's it for today. And anything else, Ms. Odom?
No.
Okay. All right. So, Mr. Rasby, anything else for you?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We're all set, Mr. Morales, and good luck. Hope to discharge you from probation successfully in another 6 months or a year.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Your Honor.
Yeah. Oh, could you note there were 3 days credit on that
Oh, yep,
also?
thanks, appreciate that.
Okay. All right, we're all set. You can log off. Next sentencing is at 9:30.